Guys, welcome to my channel. Today, this is a question asked by so many people all the time is how do I lose connection to my authentic self? Usually the question is how do I connect to it? Well, I'm going to show you how you lose that connection really quick and really profoundly with this simple thing. And this is how you're going to get it back as well. Watch this video. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the subscribe button, the bell to receive notifications when I release these new videos. If you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. I want to dive right into this. First of all, if you're looking for one-to-one coaching, I am opening some spots this year. So you want to click below in the link to my website to get that information. I also am live every single week in my Truth Room community. If you want a community of highly sensitive souls around the world doing the healing work, diving into narcissistic dynamics, diving into authentic self-work and consciousness, and waking the heck up, join the Truth Room. Lastly, these group coachings that I've been doing, Inner Work 1 and Inner Work 2, are incredibly profound. Every week, I just got off one of the calls. Every week, Monday and Wednesday, we meet for 90 minutes, either Monday or Wednesday, depending what group you're in, for 8 weeks. And you can go on and on and on. It's ongoing, or you can only do the 8 weeks if you want. This is profound work around stripping away the conditioning, the false self, the ego needs, the divine deeds, all these things, learning how to function and focus on your higher self and intuition over your trauma voice. This is the work. So check out Inner Work. All the other courses I'm doing are on demand right now. So questions or comments, just ask. Have to say that because I usually say it at the end and people skip it. So with that said, today we were diving deep into this authentic connection to self. I want to talk about this. When you were a child, many of you attached being my authentic self to not being belonging, not being accepted, or not being safe. And we had to adopt these roles to belong to these not so enlightened dynamics. Your authentic self is actually the source of your abundance. So many people are tied to someone financially, and if I do this or do that, I won't be safe. You've created that as a coping mechanism to continue the conditioning, and what we need to do is unravel these things. Also, so many people come to me for emotional wound work. I have these emotional wounds. And what happens when we are prolonging these emotional wounds is we're doing to ourselves what was done to us as a child. And what we're doing is we're judging what we feel. Many times your negative emotions weren't allowed in your family and you were shamed for the things that you felt. And then you got double shamed for having that reactivity due to the original trauma of being shamed about what you feel. So when you are judging what you feel in any capacity, you are detaching from the authentic self. Because if you authentically feel bad, that's how you feel. If you're judging it and you're making it wrong and you're making it bad, you've just disconnected from the authenticity of you. Think about that. It's so simple and so very profound. If I'm judging anything that I feel because I think my feelings are what's wrong and what get me rejected and what's wrong with me, I've disconnected from my authentic self. Being happy all the time and perfect, we think that's going to make us not react. We're reacting more because we're compounding the trauma of being rejected for what we felt in the first place by self-rejecting. When you reject what you are feeling, you reject negative emotions, you're rejecting your authentic self. You're cutting yourself off from your authentic self. Think about it. So many clients come to me and they don't know how to get back to their authentic self, but they won't let themselves feel negative emotion because of what they've attached the meaning to. If I have negative emotion because I was taught as a child that my negative emotion means I'm bad, I must be bad if I have the negative emotion. And then we cut off the negative emotion, put it all in our shadow, and feel detached from self. And then we're searching for these external validations to be able to feel good because we're truly just not allowing ourselves to feel the gamut of our emotions. You have to allow, neutrally observe, you have to allow your emotions to be what they are and not attach your identity to them. When we detach from our emotion, We attach from what we're feeling. We detach from trusting what we're feeling. We detach from trusting our perception of reality because we can't trust what we feel. It is a downward spiral into completely losing the identity. When we have a conditional family, I'm only allowed to be happy, then we start being conditional with ourselves and we have a conditional sense of self. I can allow myself to feel authentic when I feel good, and when I don't, I've lost myself and I'm bad. And when we start thinking these bad things about ourselves, we also cut off from our authentic self, because Source knows that your authentic self is 100% amazing and worthy. So, how do I connect with my authentic self? Allow everything that you feel to be okay. How do I detach from my authentic self? Judging what you feel. Judging what you feel. I had a client tell me today, well, what did she say? Actually, I wrote it down. She said, I block myself from embracing my emotion because of shame. Everything we're talking about. I said, why would you feel shame with the emotions that you feel? She said, I blame myself for having certain emotions that my family didn't accept because they were shameful. So when I have these emotions, I judge myself as shameful and I blame myself as for having them, like I did something wrong for having them. Think about it. Sometimes we have to realize that we'll be a better parent to ourselves than our parents were because we understand it better. We have higher levels of emotional intelligence, which is most highly sensitive people. You got in trouble for your deep feelings, but you're also so deep in your feelings that you start to figure things out, right? That's the gift of it. The detriment is people don't understand. The gift is you understand. So can you own yourself? Can you allow yourself? So this is what I did with my client. You can do it with yourself. I said to her, okay, give me a scenario. So she told me how when she was younger, she used to be in love with everyone and tell her parents, I'm in love with these people. And they would shame her and say, you're not in love. That's not what that is. Which then, in my opinion, made her judge herself, made her judge what she felt, made her question her perception, and made her question herself and her reality. I said, if I was your parent, what I'd say is, oh, tell me what it feels like to be in love. And as she would tell me what all these feelings were, I'd say, oh, we can better define that as I have deep feelings for this person. Instead of making fun of her and then her being afraid of being in love because what if it's judged? Instead, what we do is we ask questions and we get curious. I said to her, would you judge a little child if they said that to you? She said, no. I go, okay, it's not a you problem then. It's the person who's judging you. It's their problem that we take on as children because we need them to survive. So we shame ourselves rather than looking at the parent that projected their toxic shame. You get to take that off yourself. You get to practice talking to yourself. I do this thing called the inner. I do this thing called the healing of memories. We go back into that memory by bringing you to that emotion today. And we talk to that little girl or little boy the way that a loving, unconditional, authentic parent would. We're so afraid to take our own authority back because we've still given it to these people that we put power on. But once that person validates us, we feel not any different because we're really looking for ourselves to self-validate, to trust our own sense of self-validation. Think about this. Emotional validation is how we rehabilitate these stored emotions or these repressed emotions that make us a repressed and stuck authentic self. I should mention this. My emotional rehab program just started live. Our first call is Friday, noon Eastern time. You can still join that live. I've left it open for this week because we haven't had a live yet. If you want to join and really rehabilitate yourself back to your authentic self, join emotional rehab. If you can't make the live calls, think about doing the on-demand version, which is also readily available for you right now. This is massive. We have to pick parts of our emotional self that has been rejected, judged, and learn to love, validate, allow everything you feel without the judgment that it is wrong or needs to be any different. This is how we reconnect with the authentic self almost immediately. And if you've had many years of this, it's going to take some time, and know that. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't automatically go to your authentic self. But what you can do is stop detaching from the authentic self. And what that looks like is when you have an emotion, stop judging, stop making it mean anything about you. Just notice it's an experience you're having. You're going to watch the wave in and out, and there it goes. Oh, that was an emotion. That wasn't a truth I have to attach to. My truth is my authentic self. This is where we go wrong. So, any questions and comments, please leave them below in the comments section. Please, please share this with one person you think it could help. That really helps this channel grow. It really helps the message get out to heal more people. We're healing one soul at a time over here, and you are a huge part of that. So thank you so much. Please come say hi to me over on Instagram. I'm there every day doing little reels. And again, I just thank you for believing in yourself enough to do this work and trusting me to be a guide in this for you. I love you guys, and I hope you have an amazing week.